All right, we're checking out the OutfitR Single E-Bike Rack. So I got it strapped up to the truck here. I got my e-bike on and we're up the canyon. Did some testing. I've been testing this thing for a little while. Let's look at some of the details of this thing. We'll do an in-depth review of the OutfitR e-bike rack. So let's quickly run over some of the specs on this thing. So this is mostly aluminum, some steel. And so as far as the construction goes, you got aluminum all through here, steel crossbar on the bottom, just because that's usually what makes most sense, so it doesn't bend, has the strength you need, but then it keeps it light. So this whole thing, the rack itself weighs about 40 pounds. So it's really easy, like super light to put in by yourself, as opposed to some of the bigger moto ones. I've kind of learned over the last few years, there's kind of like a hitch rack for like every different kind of bike, unfortunately. And so I have double moto racks that hold full-size motorcycles that are really heavy. And we've got some single place moto ones like from Harbor Freight, but they're kind of big and bulky when you're doing something this small. You have mountain bike racks from Kuat, and they literally only have a 50-pound capacity. They only carry a mountain bike and a little bit of everything in between there. So this kind of solves the bike racks for these moped style bikes, some of the bigger like cruiser style ones, and kind of fits that niche where it's really lightweight, compact, and fits these really well. This rack has a 100-pound carrying capacity, so this bike I think is like 80 pounds. And then just for reference, they sell this in a double too that gives you the exact same specs, so you end up with a 100-pound carrying capacity per tray, but you can do a single or a double. I've got enough doubles back at our shop for other things that I kind of wanted a single for something that's just streamlined, small, out of the way, and could just carry a small moped bike like this. So it's pretty straightforward. There's not like a ton to do or discuss about it, but mostly I want you to see it. I'll show you how it works and functions, how to load a bike, and then what the rack looks like on its own. So let's get into some of these details. I'll show you around the rack a little bit. So hopefully this gives you a decent view of how this thing looks. Again, these are pretty small, pretty compact for some of these smaller e-bikes. It can fit up to a 50-inch wheelbase bike, which I did kind of the math on. I started looking, like, just for reference, a 50-inch wheelbase is like the same size as like a Talaria or some of those really big cruiser ones. And so you have actually a lot more room for this back tire to kind of come clear out into this area here. Whereas this bike is tiny. Like, it doesn't even sit quite level because the front tire is small enough that it kind of drops in there pretty far. It still fits just fine, but just so you know, it can kind of fit a variety of different sizes here. So attaching bikes onto this is kind of similar to some of the mountain bike ones where you're connecting to the tires and then it has a bar in the back, as opposed to like the moto racks most of the time. Like the Harbor Freight one I use is you're using literal cam straps and tying it down like you would in a trailer. So this one is just a front strap here, rear strap there on the tire, and then this nifty little thing. I've actually never really seen this system before, but this bar just pivots. We'll show you more in a second when the bike's off, and then just connects to any point of the bike where you can grab onto. So it's pretty straightforward, but I'll show you how to unload it. So undo your tire straps, and then you just undo this clip here in the back. And then with a small e-bike like this, I just lift them off because they're light enough, and then that's it. Forgot to throw it in, but I'm not going to use it. They have a nifty little like loading ramp that you just put right in this section here, and then it pins in super easy. So it's easy to use. I just, like, even on our bigger Moto and Talaria racks, if I don't need to use it or get it out and put it away, I don't. The less weight I can have on this thing, the better. So for me, on a small little bike, it's easier just to throw the bike up there myself. But if you're on a way bigger vehicle or a heavier bike, or you just want the ease of rolling it up, the ramp comes and connects here in the back, and then you just roll the bike on. So different ways to do it. So now here's a close look at it without a bike on it. So you got a big tire tray. It fits up to a 5-inch wide tire right there, so really big. I mean, these are already a big fat tire, but it can even do the more aggressive ones that are like the hunting bikes with the really fat tires. So again, here's just your straps here. This moves around, and so this section right here, you just move to kind of pinch in your rear tire there, and it has a lever that moves it around. Same strap here. That's where your ramp goes. And then this bar right here is what I was talking about. It kind of connects onto a seat post, or in this case, just any of these bars right here, and it's fully adjustable. So it pivots side to side, And then with this lever here, you can move this up and down just like that. And then it's got some sideways movement too, so you can store it all the way down and put it down like that as well. And then they sell all of these in a foldable option and then a solid option. I got the foldable one, which comes with a pin right there. And then if you lift it up, I might have done that bolt a little bit too tight, and that's totally on me because I did not adhere to their torque specs, even though you should. Then you can fold it up right there. You can repin it into there with the pin, and then it's folded out of the way. And then you can just do the same thing when you push it down. Should be easier if you actually read the instructions and not do that one too tight. And then you just repin it right there. So one quick little note, I know most of you are much smarter than me anyway, so I'm sure no one else would make this dumb mistake, but the first time I ever put this rack on, this buckle was facing upwards like this, and then I tried putting in the strap, and I thought, man, that thing's broken. It won't cinch down like the other one. If you look close, there is a little arrow right there for us dummies. So if you just flip that the right direction, then it's gonna obviously work like it should. So obviously probably no one else besides me is gonna have that problem because I'm just an idiot, but it was dark and I couldn't see anything. So just make sure you have those in the right way. So when you're buying stuff in the, maybe we'll call it the affordable category, you don't usually expect to have like the best quality or best tech on stuff, but they actually did something that I really like here. So the hitch pin bolt is threaded. So it does have a little pin you put on that side, but this is not your traditional slide it in pin like this one is here. This is actually threaded, which means it turns it into a stabilizer. So you hand thread that in and then use a crescent wrench to tighten that thing down, and then it makes this thing really stable. A lot of racks that I've used either just don't come with any stabilizer at all, or it's just a regular hitch pin, and you have to buy like an Amazon stabilizer that kind of slides in right here. So I love the racks that actually have a stabilizing system into the pin itself, because I'm serious, this thing is like really in there. It's really solid. I can't stand when these things just wobble all over the place. So they did a great job on that part. I know you watched it come off, but I'm going to show you how easy it is to put these on. I did learn that there is kind of an order of this. So if you put that up first, that helps get it out of your way. And then, like I said, these little bikes are super light. And so if I can skip a step, then I like to. So pop that up like that. Strap out of the way there. And then I usually hold it in with this one first, because then it holds it up there for you and you don't have to balance the bike anymore. You can just run these tire ones through. Just like that. And then it's way solid, guys. Like this isn't just like I got sent this and it's the first rack I've ever tested. We've seriously, I say we, like, because me, my dad, brothers, like, we ride everything from full-size dirt bikes, stuff like this, mountain bikes, and Talarias. And I told you, we have a rack for every single one, which is kind of annoying because every single one hooks up different capacities. So I've tested everything from name brand, Kuat, Yakima, like literally everything, high-end moto ones from Black Widow, and all those are good. I'm just saying this one is also really good as well. Even though this is a sponsored review where I've been sent the product, I do not, if it wasn't a good rack, I would have emailed them and said, hey, this isn't good. I'm not sure you want me to do a review on this. So the reason it's even a video is because I'm actually pretty impressed with it. We're just kind of live in this day and age where some of this kind of knockoff Chinese stuff is actually pretty good, and this is an example of that. So OutfitR actually did a good job with this. It's lightweight, really sturdy, hitch pin goes in. You don't have to order anything else like some of the other racks I've had to order extra parts in order to get them stabilized. This just comes, it's ready to go. I like it a lot. I've been testing this not just on the road but off-road too. So there's some footage from today obviously, but I have been testing it other times as well. It's held up good off-road, and again, I love, the biggest thing is that things don't wobble a lot because then they fatigue over time. As far as the bike rack goes, this is pretty solid, and it's done great on washboard roads and it's held up fine. I feel like it has a pretty good departure angle on the truck still. Some of these racks come out exactly where the hitch receiver is. This one actually is a little bit elevated and is out of the way. And so off-road has been pretty good as well, as far as like keeping everything lightweight and performing well off-road. So the very last thing is price. This is pretty affordable for a rack. It's $230 is what they have it on their website right now for the single place. And it's pretty dang affordable compared to some of the other options, some of those name brands that do single place in the same capacity. So good budget, good value, and actually pretty good performance as well. So I'll leave a link in the description if you're interested. Thanks for hanging out with me, guys. Catch you next time.